So I'm from Friends of Northern Beaches Maternity Services, and we've been lobbying the government and the local health district to improve our public maternity services. And when we found out that Vale was closing, one of the things that we went and asked for was a freestanding birth unit so that local women can still birth close to home. And I'm interested to know how many of you have either been born here or birthed your babies in Vale. It's a significant amount, and it's such a travesty that we're losing the ability to birth our babies close to home. So when we lobbied Rob Stokes and the Health District, Brad Hazard, we were told an unequivocal no. There is no way that they could keep maternity services here. And it wasn't, we were told no, not because it's a bad idea. The research clearly shows that women and babies are safe, can birth their babies safely in a freestanding birth unit cared for by a known midwife. We weren't told no because it's such a radical idea that it's never been done before. At Ryde, they have a similar unit, and it's supported by the Royal North Shore Hospital. We just wanted to replicate that model here at Vale and be supported by the New Frenchs Forest Hospital. So it's within the same health district. So it wasn't a really radical concept either. We weren't also told no because of lack of money. It wasn't very expensive because of the new buildings that have already been done. The infrastructure is there. We'd need a little bit more, but it wasn't going to cost a lot. The reason we were told no was political, because they had already sold off our public health care. There was no other reason to justify it. So now women are at risk of birthing their babies on the side of the road. And that is appalling, because I'm not sure if you're aware, with maternity there's a different type of care that you get when you're birthing your baby between public and private. So private is obstetrician-led with high rates of intervention. And Healthscope, who's running the new hospital, have one of the highest rates of interventions in birth in the state. Public maternity care is midwife-led, and they have low intervention rates. So when our public maternity services are being run by a private company for profit, it's a great concern of how the integrity of those public services are going to be maintained. Healthscope have no experience of running public care. And just at the new hospital, it was evidenced in the plans that they made for the birthing rooms. There were no baths in there for women to give birth in. Water birth is a really standard procedure in public hospitals, and it's available here. Healthscope didn't even include that in their plans to begin with. This shows how their lack of knowledge about how public midwives care for their birthing women. The thing that we're really looking at the moment is the model of care that women are going to receive in the public healthcare system. And the research again is very clear that women and babies are safer when they are looked after in a continuity of care model with a known midwife. Now Broken Hill has nearly 100% of their women are looked after in this model of care. Royal Women's at Randwick, they have 45 midwives for this programme. The new hospital, they're going to have 6 midwives. So just 240 women out the whole of the Northern Beaches are going to have access to this level of care. We are being disadvantaged by being on the Northern Beaches. It's postcode healthcare, and we are at a severe disadvantage. We need to hold our politicians and the local health district to account. And all of the meetings that we have had with them, they shrug their shoulders and almost say, well, we can't do anything because the decision was made politically. We can't do anything. And that quite simply is not good enough. And so rallies like this, we're going to be holding our own maternity services rally on the first weekend after the hospital opens outside the hospital. We have to show that this is not how we want the future of our public healthcare to be, and particularly for maternity services. Because there's a difference, as I said, so women, when they're in labour, when they're being cared for publicly, they need to be in established labour when you go to hospital. It's very different from when you go to a private hospital. So by needing to be in established labour, you're going to be driving on those roads in established labour. And as I said, the increased risk for being born before arrival has suddenly gone up dramatically. So what can you do? Obviously here, and we need to keep protesting. I'm part of Friends of Northern Beaches Maternity Services, so I would be really grateful if you could each get out your phone and on Facebook, like our page, join our campaign. We are lobbying the government, but also if you are pregnant or if you know of somebody who's pregnant or going to get pregnant, they need to demand good quality care, and that is a program called Midwife Group Practice, MGP. So what the hospital has been telling us is that they're meeting all of the demand for this program, and we know that that's a lie. That's completely wrong. We need to put the pressure at lobbying at the government level, but we also need women to keep demanding this high level of standard of care, which they deserve, because we need to ensure that our women and babies are not placed at risk purely because of our postcode. We need to hold this government to account to the decisions that they've made and look after our women and babies. So please come and join us at Friends of Northern Beaches Maternity Services. Thank you.